This could be everything or this could be nothing. Okay. This could spell doom for Shedeur Sanders as consensus quarterback two in the 2026 draft. Ty Simpson of the University of Alabama is visiting with the Cleveland Browns. Head coach Todd Monken, GM Andrew Berry, and Ty Simpson has let it be known he wants to go to Cleveland. Listen, we got to pay attention to this. Ty Simpson is visiting with the Cleveland Browns. We got to get into this story, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things. So, courtesy of Tom Pelissero. Here it says former Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson is on a visit with the Browns per sources. The consensus QB2 in this year's NFL's draft. Simpson is coming off a strong showing at the NFL Combine. Cleveland owns the number 6 and number 24 picks. Now, I don't believe they would take a Ty Simpson with the 6th pick. If he's there at 24, I don't know. Listen, man, this is the Browns, bro. You already know everybody in their media is a part of the anybody but Shedeur campaign. So they might go after this dude at 24. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? The Browns are the Browns for a reason. They've been a joke for a long time for a reason because they do boneheaded things like this. So we don't know. We believe that it should be risked up 12 times. Shedeur Sanders should be the quarterback of this team, but they are doing their due diligence on Ty Simpson. Now, do you believe they would take Ty Simpson with their 6th or potentially their 24th pick? Let me know. Let's go over to 92.3 The Fan as they had Lance Riesland on to talk about gauge the real interest of the Browns in Ty Simpson.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me. What's going on?
Why do you personally loathe Ty Simpson?
Yeah, give us the real reason.
I don't know. There's no personal. I know you're taking it personal. There's no pointing the finger in the chest. 15 starts, immediately turns me off. I'm done. I'm out.
All right.
Is it just the 15 starts? Is that like the only part of it? Because I really do think it's become
there's other things too. The frame, his ability to move his feet when he's under pressure. And I feel like these guys who have these least amount of starts, I try to go back and watch as much film as possible. I feel like if you're not in the right situation, which right now the Browns offense isn't, that could really stunt what he's doing. Now, 2 years from now, he could be outstanding, I think, if he's sitting behind Stafford or sitting behind Rodgers. But right now, I just don't think he can go in and be the guy. I just don't.
Any other quarterbacks you might actually look at if you're the Browns in the mid-rounds, other than Garrett Nussmeier?
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear about Garrett Nussmeier again.
Well, I'm going to start with Garrett Nussmeier. Love Garrett Nussmeier. And here's why. A lot of starts underneath center, played in that Brian Kelly offense, which means you're going to be multiple sets. You're going to be in the huddle. You're going to be multiple tight ends. You're going to have to do NFL-type things. And that's a big thing that people don't understand that I think, the ability to call plays in the huddle in that short amount of time when you have this long verbiage that they have in the NFL, that takes some time to do. So, I like him. I think, once again, a lot of the same concerns I have about Ty Simpson, I have about him too. Slighter frame, makes mistakes under pressure. Those are things he's going to have to work on.
All right, Coach, we got more draft questions, I'm sure. But now we did a lot about Deshaun Watson in the past hour or so, and it's kind of been a Deshaun, Shedeur, Dylan Gabriel day. Let me ask you, from a coaching perspective, and one of the cool things about Monken, you always talk about this, about how he doesn't have a scheme, he fits to the player, right? How do you put together what you want to do and what your scheme is going to be if you have 3 different quarterbacks and they're all very, very different? How does that approach? What does that look like?
Well, if you think about, it's the foundation stays the same. So if you're running zone read, everybody up front is running zone. You can pass off it. You can run zone read if you have a running quarterback. So the foundations stay the same. You're just kind of tweaking with what the quarterback's strength is. If he's a running quarterback, you're going to read the backside end. If he's a throwing quarterback, you're going to read the linebacker. Or there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. The thing that sticks out is that I'm a Dylan Gabriel fan, but I don't know. I don't think this offense fits him very well because now. What I thought he did well was be within a scheme and be a part of that, and because he does have limitations. Now, in this, I've heard you guys talking about Deshaun. I've heard a lot of, for me, it doesn't matter. All the speculation, part of the side effect or part of the ripple effect of getting rid of Kevin Stefanski is the fact that it doesn't matter what Deshaun happened before. It doesn't matter what he came in with. It doesn't matter that he played 19 games and he's been pretty poor in what he's. All he knows is right now everybody's got a kind of a fresh start, and obviously the quarterback he'll adjust to what these quarterbacks do, but he's going to pick the one that he has to do the least amount of work with. And for him, the bottom line is winning week one. All this stuff about everything else does not absolutely matter to a coach. You have to win week one, and then you got to win week two, and you kind of move forward. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but that's exactly how Monken's thinking right now. Who gives me the best chance to win week one? Not next year, not the future, not developmental. You're playing for the future. You won't be a part of it kind of deal. So for me, I think Shedeur and Deshaun are in the mix. I think this is going to be tough for Dylan just because this is a players kind of based offense, and that's not his strength.
All right, Coach. If I'm my winning plan, meaning winning as many games as possible in 2026, would involve signing Kyler Murray to a 1-year deal, the Russell Wilson type deal. The number one player I would add, and at almost any expense, Rasheed Walker, the left tackle there out of Green Bay, and then with a 6th pick, that would allow me to take Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State. If those were the big 3 moves, how would you grade that offseason for the Browns?
Oh, I like that. I would say any of those receivers, there's a bunch of receivers. My rebuttal or my pushback would be I think you can get some guys like Tyson who might be as good. Omar Cooper. There's some guys, besides Lemon, Tyson, and Tate, Casey Concepcion, Omar Cooper, Zachariah Branch, Denzel Boston, Chris Bell. These guys I've been watching now for a while. There's some guys you can get down the road. So I love the idea of getting Walker. Then you're pretty good at the tackles. You figure out what you're going to do inside. There's some guards you can go out and get second and third round. For me, I'm still taking game changers. If that's the thing, I'm not taking Tyson at 6. I'm either taking a game changer or I'm trying to trade back so I can take a tackle or I can take one of those 3 receivers or another receiver I like. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a receiver that jumps in front of those 3 that somebody really loves because there's some skill sets on these guys that teams like, whether they're in the slot or outside. So I'm on board with all that. I would still take if Caleb Downs is there, Sonny Styles is there, if Arvell Reese is there, I'm taking those guys because those guys are what win games down the road.
What have you seen from Sonny Styles? He's a guy we didn't talk too much about, and then he just had a magnificent combine.
Well, for me, JP, the combine is very. I'm not a huge combine guy, but what I like to do is when a guy is like that, you say, oh my gosh, and then you go back and see it on film. And what you see is a guy who was a safety, 6'5", 244. He ran. He did all these freakishly things. But he's only played linebacker for 1 year, and he's only played down in the box, and that's a big difference when you talk about reading double teams and scraping over top and filling A gap and blitzing and covering backside of the backfield. It's a big change, for a guy moving down. However, he's such an elite athlete. The scary thing about him is I think his best football is in front of him. He's only just getting started, and he's one of those guys when you watch him on film, he's just a better athlete than him and Reese and Downs are just better athletes than everybody else. So he'll have a learning curve because at his size, he's able to kind of just get rid of offensive linemen. He'll have to stack and shed a little bit more as he gets, into the NFL. But when you see the combine, you go back and watch the film, you can see the correlation and you see how much better he's going to